Out of curiosity, where is Kamala Harris during all this? Where is Kamala Harris right now?
Also, where's Al Gore? Where'd that motherfucker go? Where's he at?
So much is on the line in this election, and we have to remember, this is not 2016 or 2020. The stakes are even higher. Because a few months ago, the United States Supreme Court just told the former president that he would be essentially immune from anything he does while he's in office. Now, just imagine Donald Trump with no guardrails, right? He who has vowed, if reelected, that he will be a dictator on day one, that he would weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. He who has called for the, quote, termination of the Constitution of the United States.
Now look, a lot of us already knew what kind of man Donald Trump really was. But when Vice President Kamala Harris tried to tell the world what he was planning to do with power, people didn't listen, or they didn't care. She said it plain and clear. Trump would use the military for his own good and not for the people. And now, just look at what's happening right now. If it don't benefit him, he turns his back, especially on black and brown communities. This ain't new to us. We saw it coming. Kamala saw it coming. And today, we're going to show you the receipts. This is what she said before it even happened. Check it out.
And so after all these years, we know who Donald Trump is. He is someone who will stop at nothing to claim power for himself. And you don't have to take my word for it. I've said for a while now, watch his rallies. Listen to his words. He tells us who he is. And he tells us what he would do if he is elected president. So here tonight, I will show you one example of Donald Trump's worldview and intentions. Please roll the clip.
The worst people are the enemies from within.
The enemy from within. Those people are more dangerous, the enemy from within, than Russia and China.
These people should be put in jail the way they talk about our judges and our justices. Now, if you had one really violent day, one rough hour, and I mean real rough.
I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're the big, and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military.
Yesterday, we learned that Donald Trump's former chief of staff, John Kelly, a retired four-star general, confirmed that while Donald Trump was president, he said he wanted generals like Adolf Hitler had. Donald Trump said that because he does not want a military that is loyal to the United States Constitution. He wants a military that is loyal to him. He wants a military who will be loyal to him personally, one that will obey his orders even when he tells them to break the law or abandon their oath to the Constitution of the United States. In just the past week, Donald Trump has repeatedly called his fellow Americans the enemy from within, and even said that he would use the United States military to go after American citizens. And let's be clear about who he considers to be the enemy from within. Anyone who refuses to bend a knee or dares to criticize him would qualify, in his mind, as the enemy within, like judges, like journalists, like nonpartisan election officials.
This is just a friendly reminder that former Vice President Harris spoke the other day, and she told the truth. She said Trump will mess up this country. Stock market is falling. Millionaires, billionaires losing money. You losing money in your 401ks. Tariffs everywhere. wages are low, and we are in carnage and chaos. She was right. She said the same thing. Trump was going to destroy this country. He did it. Even Kramer went on TV and said, I can't believe Trump on the tariffs. I was so wrong. Yeah, MAGAs, I was so wrong. Republicans, I was so wrong. Democrats who voted for Trump, I was so wrong. She told the truth, and I'm telling the truth right now. Donald Trump did exactly what he said he was going to do. He was going to cost you money. He was going to cost you jobs. He was going to make sure the world goes down, 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 down. He did exactly what he stated he was going to do. And former Vice President Harris came and told the truth. She did no lies. That's why she ain't said nothing. She came out. You should have voted for Vice President Harris. She's getting the last laugh. And guess what? We are all paying for it because everything is going up besides your wages. And understand one thing. Trump is not for you. He is against you.
This is a message for the Black community and those who support it. We are still resting, but there is a tide shift. For one, 47 is very confused as to why we are not taking to the streets. He doesn't understand it. He just knew that using tax dollars to tear up the Black Lives Matter street, that was going to do it. Tearing down the buildings with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, he was sure that floating the rumor of pardoning Derek Chauvin would do it. His executive order to bring back segregation, all of his attacks on DEI, even though Black people benefit the least from DEI, he was sure that would do it. It hasn't. And one thing that they didn't plan on at the end of the election, something that happened on November 5th, 2024, is when we all went into the voting booth and voted, and we were the only demographic that was united and held strong for democracy in this country. The 92% of Black women who knew the assignment and knew what the stakes were, because we always do. The 78% of Black men who held it down because they knew what would happen if they didn't. The Black community knew the assignment. We became on the same wavelength. When Target did their thing, we collectively made them an example. Walmart, also losing money. Amazon, also losing money. Now, granted, allies that support the Black community, the LGBT community, women, they've all been a part of that too. But Black people have collectively been on the same wavelength. But in Trump's desperation to get us out into the streets, he is becoming more and more dangerous with his executive orders. On April 28th of this year, he signed an executive order. The executive order is titled Strengthening and Unleashing America's Law Enforcement to Pursue Criminals and Protect Innocent Citizens. Now, we all know that Trump don't give a crap about innocent citizens, because if he did, he would care about due process. And he wouldn't try to get rid of habeas corpus, because that is how you know that a citizen is innocent or not. So what they want to do in this executive order is give cops more power and permission to profile, to brutalize people that they just think are guilty. That means us. He is trying to create another George Floyd, another situation that will get us into the streets. I say this so that we all can be cautious and we can all see and know what he is trying to do. This executive order further militarizes the police that were already militarized with tanks and riot gear that apparently they do not need when people are protesting that are of a lighter shade, but they need it for us. This also further protects law enforcement officers who are accused of misconduct or police brutality. Protects them because we know that they need to make it home to their families, but you don't need to make it home to yours. They fear for their life, even though they're the ones holding the weapon and pointing it at your back. This executive order also does something that we have already seen. This executive order threatens state and local officials who discriminate by enacting diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. If state and local officials are being inclusive, advocating for diversity and equity, they can be charged with discrimination charges. Now, Trump's DOJ's Civil Rights Department, who have defended the civil rights of people for 70 years now, they are no longer defending the rights of Black and brown people, LGBT people, women, all of those people who are usually discriminated against. They are no longer going to be representing them. So if you have an issue of discrimination, the DOJ will no longer represent you because of discrimination. Make it make sense. They will now be focusing their attention on discrimination against white Christian people because they are the most discriminated group by far. Yeah. Now, I say all this to say there's a tide shifting. Even though Black people are resting We are focusing in on our communities, our Black-owned businesses, our children, our education, all of that. Yes, we need to continue doing all of that. I have seen a shift in the boldness of these racist people. Neo-Yahtzee rallies and marches up there in Kansas City. YT women calling little autistic Black children the N-word, getting $750,000 for that. But then there have been videos of Black people letting those racist people know who think we are going back to the 1930s during the times that we were hanging in trees, that they were having picnics with us as the main course. Times where they could tell us which swimming pools to swim at, which water fountains to go to, where to sit on the bus. Alabama today is trying to resegregate its schools. Problem is, Black people like me were born into freedom. It's going to be real hard to put that genie back in the box. So even though Black people are resting, we're not going back to 1930. We are a different breed. But I say, be cautious, because 47 has already started putting things in place, specifically for us, because he wants us to protest. And when we protest, he will enact martial law. And he already has the orders in place to do that. We need to know the enemy that we are fighting. So what do? Stay out of the street. Do not protest, no matter what happens. What we will do is we will continue to organize and protest with our wallets, cheer on our allies who are out in the street, strengthen the Black community, and to be there for each other. We will continue to support Black-owned business with our wallets and our presence. We will continue to be united as we were on the 5th of November 2024 when we tried to save this country. We will continue to do what we do best, thrive in our excellence, even during the hardest times.
So now you've seen it for yourself. Kamala Harris didn't just guess, she warned us, loud and clear, about exactly what Donald Trump would do if he ever got into power. She wasn't trying to scare us, she was telling the truth. And just like she said, here we are, living through it. This man is doing exactly what she said he would, using the military like it's his own private army, not to protect the people, not to bring peace, but to silence protests, to intimidate journalists, to punish anybody who dares to speak the truth or stand up to him. Right now, as you're watching this video, people are being arrested at protests, peaceful protests. Journalists are being dragged away for doing their jobs, for documenting what's really happening in our communities. Let's be honest, Trump doesn't just go after his enemies. He goes after anyone who isn't fully on his side, no matter how right they are, no matter how peaceful they are. And that's dangerous. That's not democracy. That's dictatorship behavior. That's how people acted in the 1930s. Yeah, we're talking Nazi Germany. And Trump has literally praised dictators, admired their tactics, and even said he'd be a dictator on day one. And I want to pause here to say this, loud and proud. Black voters were the strongest, most unified voting group in 2024. We showed up, we stood together, and we made a difference. They try to silence us, but we keep showing up. They try to erase our voices, but we keep speaking up. They try to make us afraid, but we keep fighting, because we know what's at stake. We've got power in our voice, power in our votes, and power in our unity. Kamala Harris gave us the warning. We've seen the proof. If you made it this far into the video, thank you. Don't let this message stop with you. Like, comment, share, and most of all, stay woke. I'll see you in the next one.